It is great to see everyone here this morning. I know it is raining, but what better ambiance to announce that we are lightening up the city, brightening up the city. We are also here next to our horse watering fountain here at the corner of Mulberry and Dairy Street in Harrisburg. Also a fitting symbol. That fountain was dedicated here in 1907 and represents a part of the City Beautiful movement. Before there was even the Mulberry Street Bridge, this was a major hub of activity as people made their way from the downtown up here into what was then called Mount Pleasant. The horses would stop and drink from that fountain. There was also the ability for dogs and people to drink from that fountain. It was a major innovation for its time. It was considered not only beautiful, but green infrastructure of the early 20th century. So that's partly why we're here today. We're also here today because this area, which we're calling Mulder Square, after the intersection of the two streets, Mulberry and Dairy, represents a focal point for city development like we haven't had in Harrisburg for decades. In this area, just within view, in a few short months, you're going to see major development. Those structures there are going to be replaced with beautiful, affordable housing. That lot back there will disappear. There will be more housing down that street. And, of course, the real reason we're here, there's going to be new LED fixtures throughout the entire city of Harrisburg, both the decorative acorn-like fixtures that you see there on and the higher Cobra head fixtures all throughout the street. I am told that to date, this LED conversion project is in fact the largest lighting project in the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I'm hoping it will be something of a model for other cities and municipalities throughout the state. We are joined today by a variety of individuals that are all working together to have this project work. All of our subcontractors are from Pennsylvania. They include such subcontractors as Westside Hammer and Electric, Weatherspoon and Williams, TLC Construction, I see Tariq right there, a Harrisburg-based business, we shall note, and Stewart's Tree Service. Now, there are a lot of benefits of this LED conversion. I would say the number one benefit is that we are going to save 2/3 on our electric bill. Imagine that. Simply converting the bulbs and being able to save 2/3 on your energy consumption. That makes this project able to pay for itself in a few short years. And as a guaranteed energy savings contract, the city is not on the hook. We will reap those savings and we will reap them quickly. I want to thank M&T Bank. They could not be with us today, but they stepped up when other banks wouldn't step up, and they provided the financing for this project for the city of Harrisburg. They've got a true commitment to the community here, and we thank them for that. This is a $3.7 million project, and they financed $3.2 million. Another $500,000 came from a grant from the Pennsylvania Energy Development Authority. We also have grassroots support. Our friends from Lighten Up Harrisburg have been with us the whole way. They've raised over $30,000 just to put towards this project here today. So another neat feature of this project is that we have a map on our website, harrisburgpa.gov. Now, if you go there and you look under documents, you can click on Streetlight Map. And if you do that, you can watch the city brighten up over time as these lights are converted one by one. So hopefully if you check in later today or tomorrow, you'll see the first lights starting to change right here in Mulder Square. I do want to say something to the residents of Harrisburg. I want to ask your patience and cooperation as we begin this conversion process. There are going to be some temporary road closures. The contractors are going to be following the street cleaning schedule. So if you haven't moved your car for street cleaning, all the more reason to move your car over the next months as we're doing this, because they will have to be moved. And that's going to happen along with the street cleaning. We're also, once again, and look at how I seamlessly put this into this press conference, we're continuing to ask residents to please bag their leaves. If you bag their leaves, they're easier to pick up. We'll be able to come along and pick them up, and they won't be in the way of the contractors as they're working to convert the lights. Now, we are very pleased to be joined by the Secretary of the Department of Environmental Protection, Secretary Quigley. He's here, and I'd like to give him the opportunity to say a few words. Secretary?
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. It's great to be here for a couple of reasons. First, in a previous life, I was the mayor of the city of Hazleton. So, as a fellow mayor, I know how important these kinds of projects are to a community. And the development and the vision that the mayor outlined, it's really exciting to see, and really great to see the city of Harrisburg come back so strongly. On my part now, in my current position as DEP Secretary, I also happen to be the chair of the Pennsylvania Energy Development Authority. And the Pennsylvania Energy Development Authority contributed a $500,000 grant for this project in 2014 to help replacement of the 6,100 plus streetlights throughout the city. Because of that $500,000 grant from the Commonwealth, that will enable the city to accelerate the payback. So probably less than 6 years from now, this project will have paid for itself. It's a tremendous example to every city in Pennsylvania, and I really want to congratulate the mayor for his vision and leadership in making it happen. So, as a former mayor, I know this is a win-win for the city. It saves money for the taxpayers. Cutting your streetlight bill by 2/3 is really cool. I actually did a streetlight conversion project when I was mayor. Between 1988 and 1995, I was 8 years old when I took office. But back then, LEDs hadn't even been invented. So it's great to see new technology being applied in such a smart way here in Harrisburg to enhance the atmosphere of the city and make it for a more safer, more walkable city. And certainly, as the Secretary of Environmental Protection, I know that this project will help the city reduce its energy consumption, reduce its carbon dioxide emissions. This project alone will save 2.5 million kilowatts of energy annually. It will save 1,600 tons of carbon dioxide emissions every single year. That's equivalent to about the carbon dioxide emissions from 250 homes. So this project is great for the city, it's great for the taxpayers, it's great for the climate. So it's a real win for the city, and I want to congratulate the mayor and all of you, all of the project partners, for just such a great project. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Yes. It is one of those projects which is just so satisfying because it works in so many different ways. I want to just take a quick moment and point out a few other people that we should thank. I want to thank Councilwoman Susan Brown Wilson and our streetlight coordinator Kevin Baum, both of whom were on the initial selection committee that made the selections for those involved here in the lighting project. I want to also thank Councilwoman Shemaine Daniels, who's the chair of our Building and Housing Committee with City Council. I want to thank Wayne Martin. Wayne, couldn't have done it without you and your great legal knowledge. Wayne put together the whole guaranteed energy savings proposal. And I want to thank our next speaker, Mr. Patrick Regan from the Efficiency Network. They came in with a tremendous proposal that I think was obviously the right one to choose and is going to be incredibly impactful for Harrisburg. To tell you a little bit about the planned project and where it goes from here, here's Patrick Regan.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Good morning. This project is really the direct result of the vision and the foresight of Mayor Papenfuse. To enhance public safety, to beautify Harrisburg neighborhoods, and to be fiscally responsible in generating over $500,000 in annual savings for the city. We've been very honored to work closely with the City of Harrisburg's highly capable leadership team. I know we've done our due diligence. The economics of this project are there. We have the right team in place. We have the right contractors in place. And we're just honored to be able to be in a position to focus on delivering the world-class LED street lighting system that the city has requested. The project will be completed in April. And starting this afternoon, we're going to be hard at work on completing the installation as soon as we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. And I think we were going to show you the installation of the first bulb, but I guess we're postponing that right now, right? Are we? I think so. We won't do it right now afterwards, but come back and you'll see bright lights here in the city. We'd be happy to take some questions. And then, of course, we have our first ceremonial cake. Complete with a lighting apparatus and fountain, courtesy apparently of Kevin Baum. So we will have cake in a moment. Questions?
Yes.
Portia.
Why start at Mulder
Well, all the lights you see will be converted. So all the decorative fixtures and all the overhead Cobra head fixtures will be converted. We specifically chose Mulder Square because the city is trying to make a strong investment in this area. And why not use this as an opportunity to say that the city has an application before the Commonwealth right now, an RCAP application to help transform this very area, improve the sidewalks, improve the infrastructure here in Mulder Square, and we certainly hope that application will be considered. It's competing against a lot of applications from private entities, but here is a public application from the city asking for millions of dollars in infrastructure support, building on all the money that was invested in the Mulberry Street Bridge recently, and will have a real impact here. We're doing other things such as reopening our substation, increasing our foot patrols. We've had a lot of community meetings. We are working with our housing partners. This is really exciting, all the energy that's happening here in Mulder Square, including art space grants and everything else. So we wanted to say, you know, traditionally sometimes in the city we'll start other projects in other parts of the city. We wanted to start right here, right at this crossroads, right here at the fountain, which has always been this crossroads for Harrisburg. I was saying this used to be this was the original suburbs. This was the Mount Pleasant where people from the downtown would journey upon this hill and make a new life for themselves in the 19th century. So we're at the heart of Harrisburg's history here, and we're at the heart of an urban revitalization that we think can take root here and spread throughout the entire Allison Hill neighborhood.
You mentioned a little bit, if you could elaborate a little bit more on the public safety component of this.
And there is a public safety component to all this. We've been working very closely with the police department. We're reopening a substation. We've increased our walking patrols. As you may know, we are hiring 5 new officers as part of a federal COPS grant for next year. Those officers are specifically designated for community policing strategies and will have a presence right here in Mulder Square. So we figured rather than scattering our efforts throughout the whole city, and we would focus them in one concentrated area, and all the more appropriate to start the lighting project here. We also talked to our police department and community stakeholders about where, as a part of this lighting conversion, we might be able to increase the brightness of the lights and brighten some of our streets, and we're doing that in several corridors here throughout Mulder Square. So a very appropriate place to start the project.
So you think that will help deter crime?
I think it will help deter crime. I think it'll make the city more energy efficient. It'll make it brighter. It'll make it safer, and it really will serve as a beacon for a positive future for Harrisburg.
And just last question, in terms of dollars and cents, I think someone just mentioned the savings is like $500,000. Is that a year? Can you put?
At least. It really depends on what the electrical rates are, and those are something beyond the city's control. But I like the 2/3 number. It's almost 2/3 of what our bill used to be. We are going to be saving as a part of this conversion.
What
So
is your bill used
you know, we could save up, somewhere at the minimum end $500,000, and at the maximum end, $900,000. But enough to easily pay back this project in a short period of just a few years. So it's a real savings, and the sooner we are able to pay back our generous loan from M&T, the sooner we can then apply that savings back into the community on other projects. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
On the map, looking at it, it seems like the legend is not exactly written to the layperson. Somebody explain what I'm looking at and how to know when a light is done.
When I saw it, I ignored the legend and looked for the colors changing on the map. Who would like to walk through the map legend? Can anyone do that? You can do it by color, right? You don't have to actually. Go ahead.
Well, we've had some complaints about the legend. I mean, there's a table that goes with it I can send out, but the thing that's important for the public to know is the orange balloon will turn blue when it's been retrofitted. The numbers have each balloon has a number, 1 through 5. That means something to us. It goes by bill account and things like that. Probably won't mean much to the public, but that's what those numbers mean.
They're just looking for blue?
Blue will be LED
Okay.
lights.
Blue means LED. How about that? Yeah.
Does it say somewhere on that map? I couldn't find it if it does, like what the sequence of things getting done is. Is there like a schedule in the...
Now, there's five crews working from 2 different companies, and the city can't really dictate you need to be at this location on this given day, because that would be too restrictive on a contractor's means and methods. So we've given them the street sweeping schedule, which is a good guideline to follow. But we don't know, these lights have to be manufactured for certain wattages and stuff, so we're waiting on those shipments to come in. So it's really a contractor's means and methods of where they're going to put those crews on any given day, depending on the lights that are available in the warehouse at that time.
We said start here, but after that, it'll disperse throughout the whole city.
And not to be super picky, but did it really start here? I thought that
Well,
folk already got its lights.
There are some. The contractors asked permission to start early, given the weather, and we did grant them permission to work in some low volume travel areas so that they don't have to deal with some of the traffic control and things like that, to sort of get their muscle memory in place and get their timing down for the install. So yes, there's a few hundred lights already installed. That's correct. Yeah.
They've got it down to a science now. They're going to move with great efficiency here. Yes?
This is going to help about people that are dumping illegal tire in the Harley.
I'm sorry? Yeah.
The people that are dumping in the Harley.
Yes, yes.
And there's some room.
It should. It should. It should brighten up the alleys. It should make it harder for people to sort of lurk and operate in the shadows, whether it's a criminal element or people that are dumping. We're going to be brightening up everywhere. So I think it will actually pay particular benefit to the alleys and areas where a lot of those older lights had sort of been neglected for a large period of time. Good question. Yes?
Can Wayne address the city's current streetlight situation? Like, aren't there lights that are out at certain places that haven't been replaced because you've been waiting for this? And kind of describe what areas might be dark where residents will be really excited to hear that this is finally started.
Well, remember, every light is being replaced. So yeah.
Every light owned by the city and
6,000
will be replaced. I mean, there are some lights owned by the Commonwealth, either the Department of Transportation, Department of General Services, things like that, which we would not be replacing. But 6,127 lights will be replaced in the city.
I guess I'm looking for like how many are dark right now that have just been dark, to try to get an assessment of the current state of the city's streetlights.
A couple months ago, we were starting to run low on our attic stock of replacement lights, and so the city forces have been concentrating their work on correcting wiring issues, installing poles, but not the lights, knowing that we would just be throwing money away if we're going to put a new high pressure sodium fixture on up that's going to be replaced. So yeah, I don't have the exact numbers of how many lights are not working today, but all of them will be addressed with this project.
Not to get super in the weeds, but do you feel like, as these contractors go through these installs, are they going to find other issues like wiring, like other stuff, and how will that go? They've already found, we've already experienced that. Sometimes it's a PP&L related issue where we're just not getting the power to the poles. Sometimes it's a city issue where we might own the underground wiring in a certain situation, or a fuse issue. And yeah, so our city crews are following along the contractors to fix some of those out of scope issues. If it becomes an issue where it's too much for us to handle, there is provisions in the contract to get pricing from the contractors that are out there working. Is there an added cost associated with that?
There would be an added cost, yes sir, yes.
We should take a moment to thank our city workers, because this represents a lot of effort on the part of the city as well. And as Wayne has described, the city is sort of working hand in glove with the contractors here in an effort to address this in a global way. So, and it's going to make maintenance so much easier. It's going to make a tracking of the lights that are out so much easier. It's going to improve the ability of the Public Works Department, the Bureau of Engineering in particular, to be able to respond and deliver a sort of quality service for the residents. All right, so with that, I think we need to ceremonially cut the cake. We are going to do that instead of a ribbon. The first official cake with streetlight, upside down and backwards. And all right, pan it, and here we
Comes
go.
the hard part.
Don't knock it over. Okay, there we go. Brilliant. And let them eat cake. All right. Yay!